Well, hello, Rebecca,
Well, hi, Dad. And hello, shallow friends. Welcome back.
and welcome to episode 20
20.
of The
Wow,
Shallow End.
so
We
excited.
keep saying it. We made it.
We made it to still double digits. That part didn't change.
Yeah, no. Um, so remember the message I sent you? By the way, everybody, this is not an organized version this week.
Oh,
We're just
yeah.
we're just catching up.
It's a return to form of
Yeah,
our
chit chat.
beginnings. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Lots of generally overwhelming times in various lives, and so uh, we didn't do a whole lot of preparation. But look, Rebecca,
Oh my
I have a piece of
gosh.
paper.
He has notes. He can't resist.
Remember that email I sent you last week
Yes,
about the shallow end?
yes, I do. It made my day.
Um, it made my day too, and I talked with him afterwards. So I just need to start off by just doing that. A good old shout out to our shallow friend Steve.
Thank you, Shallow Steve.
Thanks Thanks for listening and thanks for caring. And the way that he just described how every time he listens, he hears, "Hello, Rebecca. Hello, Dad." And it just warms his heart. And it's so cute. I'm like, oh, they love us. They really love us.
Our fans.
Yeah, I guess. It's so weird to, like, again, like, we don't really do this for other people, but then to hear that people are actually
Yeah,
listening.
yeah. That's what I like. I reflected on it, and I was like, it's just weird to think that anybody other than Maggie is listening. So,
Right. Hi, Maggie.
so hi Maggie, miss you. So every time you tell me about somebody who told you that they listen, it's like, what? Why? How did you get it?
Why? Um, oh, speaking of Maggie, shout out to Maggie. Maggie, thank you for calling me 13 times today till I picked up. Um,
Why?
well, we'll get into that.
Oh gosh. There's,
What
I
did the
guess,
afternoon have in store?
I would love to know.
Yeah.
I got a scary text. Well, I didn't get it. I saw a scary text in the family group chat today with no context. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. But first, I want to go back and circle back to episode 20.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm just, this is going to be an anticipatory kind of thing. Um, do you know what percentage of podcasts get past the third episode?
No, I don't.
10%.
10%.
10%. So when
Dad.
they say there are 2 million podcasts out there, we're in the top 10%.
Yes.
If and when we record number 21, ready?
Yeah.
Top 1%.
Oh, Dad, 100, 110, 100.
Well, we're not going to get to 100, but and maybe it was 110.1. But
True.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Um, so it just tells me that everybody's doing these podcast things for the wrong reasons because they think they're going to become
Yeah.
podcast superstars.
I think they'll post the first episode and launch into fame.
Right.
We
Right.
know that it takes the 21st episode to launch into fame.
Yeah. Yeah, we going viral on 21.
Hell yeah, we are.
Yeah, I don't think so, but
You have to
it's okay.
believe.
We're nothing if not stubborn, Rebecca.
Yeah, we're persistent, even in our failures.
Yes. Ah, yes. So,
So, you tell
um,
me why my sister called you 13 times today.
well, because your mother called me twice and then was like, I've gotta take care of this. And and said, Maggie, call your dad and keep calling him until he answers.
Wow.
Because mom was dealing with the David scooter accident.
The David scooter accident, 2024. I'm gonna
So,
pour myself a glass of wine for this one.
yeah, do it.
I'm doing it.
Poor kid. Not kid, full adult. Poor guy. Uh, riding his big boss
Electric
electric
scooter.
scooter back from his new job that he loves. And he's run this route now for 2 weeks going and no issues. Well, all of a sudden, at 20 miles an hour, there is uh, a big cord strung across the sidewalk at waist level. About it hit the neck of his scooter, stopped the scooter, and flung him 15 feet in the air. And he landed, smashed his back, um,
Oh my
smashed his
gosh.
his helmet is all dented on the back. Good thing he was wearing a
Yeah,
helmet.
good thing. Smash his skull.
Um, Also, good thing he actually had like coworker. A coworker was getting a ride home and was riding by and saw it happen. So they pulled over
Okay, good.
and took pictures and everything and made sure he was okay. I don't know who called 911, but ambulance came, checked him out, said you should go to the hospital.
Oh boy.
And he was like, well, we'll see. We'll see about that. So he is sore and sitting, but we believe no permanent damages.
Wow. That it's lucky. That's very lucky.
Yes,
I mean,
but
very unlucky first, and then
well, right,
and then very
exactly.
lucky.
When I got the call from Maggie, I was just like, I hadn't looked at my phone in 10 minutes, and over 10 minutes, I had 15 missed calls, two
Yeah.
from mom and 13 from Maggie. So I
So
called Maggie
thinking.
back, and she was like, this is what's happening. Look at Life 360, meet mom there. I'm like, okay. And all she knew was scooter accident. So we were
Yeah.
thinking car,
Car. Yeah.
but
Oh,
I don't know. But I don't know how that happens. Like some jackhole just like
yeah.
strung something across because he wants to hurt people.
What was it? Like the wire was
Some kind of a thick cord.
just
He said it was
okay.
attached to a power pole, and then it was
That's
attached to
so
like a
weird.
tree or something. I think it's someone doing evil.
Huh. That's really
It
weird.
said that there was a DTE sign, but it was like further up, and there was no like work going on. So
Huh.
I don't know.
Very
His
weird.
coworkers got Yeah, his coworkers got pictures. So we're gonna look at the pictures of the whole thing,
Yes.
and obviously in the moment, I don't think David was thinking, "I need justice."
Yeah.
He was more thinking, "Ow."
Am I okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the text I received. Well, the family received in the family group chat at 5 o'clock today. My mom says, looks okay. Dad says, you have him? Mom says, he is in my car now, released from ambulance. And I was like,
Hmm.
who's he? What's going on? And then, I mean, I
Yeah.
got filled in and stuff, but that was like, I was in the bus on the way home, and I was like, what's going
Ah!
on? Who's dying?
Cone to me.
Come to me. Wow, what dramas.
Yeah, it was not fun,
That
especially for David.
doesn't sound fun.
But yeah, he just like settles into the chair, like a recliner, after he got a little food in him and stuff. And he's like, well, the good news is I love my job. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Poor kid.
So,
Is he gonna take some
so
time off?
his he called in and said he's probably not going to be in tomorrow. We'll see how he feels. The, Speaking of terrifying things in family group chat, did you Did you pay any attention to last night's terrifying family group
Actually,
chat?
I saw it this morning, like the first thing that I saw this morning,
I'm
which was
sorry.
it was quite a rude awakening.
Why
Yeah.
don't you describe what you saw?
Um, well, I saw the first one that she sent first, which is a very short video of
And let's
you.
tee this up. We are
Okay.
recording the day before Halloween.
Yeah.
So
Recording
there's
the day
context.
before
That's
Halloween. And it's a video of you just really weirdly lit by the light of the bathroom coming in behind you.
mm-hmm.
Bare legs, bare toes, toes not unsafe, toes
Toast not
out,
unsafe.
dressed in a blow up jack o' lantern costume with a little cap on your head that's the stem of the pumpkin, doing a
Uh-huh.
weird little jig and saying, "I'm the great pumpkin," in a weird voice. So that's what I woke up to this morning, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It was very
At least you
terrifying.
didn't go to bed with that
That's
and then
true.
have
Mom,
nightmares.
mom had to do that. Did you sleep in the
Yeah.
outfit?
No, heck no. So the outfit, I was testing it out because that was David's Halloween
Right.
costume for his new job. And he brought it to work today. And I'm like, did you wear the costume at least? And he's like,
Oh
no, I was
no.
actually supposed to dress up tomorrow
Wait,
for
so he's
Halloween, right?
not gonna dress up.
So he might miss it and not be able to
Oh,
dress up.
that sucks. That's actually kind of funny. Do you think that they think that he called out so he could get day drunk on Halloween?
No, I don't think that.
Maybe he
That's
will.
that's not that's not the style of person that gets day drunk on Halloween.
Really? You don't think so?
Your second oldest brother? No. By the way, did you like the second video?
What's the second video? Maybe I don't think I watched all of them. There were like 10.
Oh, no, well, okay, yeah, the last one.
One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, six permutations of
I didn't
this.
do it.
I know. I'm
I
just
didn't do
saying.
it.
I
I
kind
was
of
just
stopped
playing a
watching.
role.
Oh, you were blown up in this one. Oh, it's scary. You kind of look like Baymax from Big Hero 6.
Hmm.
Did you ever see Big Hero 6?
Yes, I did. I know I saw it, but I don't
You know the
remember.
big white robot that's puffy?
Oh, okay. Well,
That's Baymax.
yeah.
You kind of look like him.
The the climax of that last video is me slowly creeping up to mom,
Mm.
who's laying in bed, going, the great pumpkin loves you,
No,
and
I
then
don't
getting,
like it.
"Blah."
I don't like it. No, it's bad.
This is the most embarrassing thing I've ever done in my life, I think.
I
And that's
doubt
saying
that.
something.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want to hear about my eventful, not today, but yesterday it was eventful.
Oh, yes, you had a bunch of trauma too.
No, not trauma. Actually, it worked out really nicely for me because I didn't have to go to lab. Um,
Uh-huh.
but I was waiting at the bus stop, about to bus onto campus, and actually I was driving to the bus stop, and I got a notification that said gas leak on campus. Please avoid this intersection, and it's like the main intersection of
I
campus.
was
Like that's the only
And your lab is like
like right next to
half a
it.
block, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I was like, oh, okay, weird. I'm just gonna go to campus anyway and see what's up, and maybe go in the back door or something. I don't know.
hmm
And so we're all standing there at the bus stop waiting, and we're like looking around at each other, like, where the heck is the bus? And then a guy drives past in a little cata um, car, like he just works
Yeah.
for the business, and he leans out the window and he goes, guys, they shut down all the buses, and we're not going to be running for the next couple of hours at least." And we were like, "Why?" And he goes, "The gas leak. There's a gas leak." We were like, "Oh, okay." So we all just kind of stood around and looked at each other and then started going back to our cars. We all drove away.
Yep.
And I got
All
to
right.
just go
Yep.
home. And I emailed my professor And I said, I know we're not supposed to miss this class, but I hope you understand due to this unique circumstance. And he was like, yeah, you're fine. So,
Yeah, the whole building was shut down, right?
yeah, like there are there's oxygen and nitrogen used in the like that's dangerous.
Yeah, bad
Yeah.
idea. Let's go into the chemistry building when there's a gas leak outside. I've seen these videos online. I don't want you in the middle of
Yeah,
it.
no. Well, turns out they got it cleared up within like the next hour. So technically I could have been there for like an hour and a half of the lab, but I was like, no, I'm just gonna take the excused
Well,
absence
let's
and go
yeah.
home.
Yeah, let's not be so technical. It's like I didn't feel safe.
Yeah, I was scared. I have gas trauma.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that it was a leak without anything more explosive
Yes,
happening.
agreed. That would suck.
Okay, so I know we didn't do any real prep for this, but I do have an interesting thing that I read that I would love to hear your perspective on.
Okay, cool.
So, I read this article about an effort by a bunch of researchers, scientific researchers, across a broad spectrum of sciences
Hmm.
who were working together to try to um, like root out fraud in science and scientific publishing.
Okay.
And they were basically saying we need to establish very specific and rigorous standards for uh, the um, the structuring of a research project, and then the data collection and everything, so that you it's the old like let's make sure we're controlling for all the variables. But
Yeah.
so they did this, and it was like a 12-year process, and they kind of used it as sort of like a meta study where they looked at a bunch of different studies and pulled out like, and then they published, and then their paper got flagged for
No,
fraudulent
that's so
data
funny.
collection.
That's so embarrassing.
I'm like, what are we doing? So I will afterwards. I'll send you the link to this
Thank
study,
you.
but it was like um, they actually had to retract the paper, and there was this quote from one of the authors who's just like, "Well, we weren't trying to do anything wrong. We just screwed up."
Wait,
Like
you're saying
it was weird.
oopsies are bad, but
On a
on
paper
a
about
paper
how you can't be oopsie are
about
bad.
oopsies? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I
Okay,
thought you would really appreciate that.
I don't know if this is the same story but retold in a different way because I didn't read the paper about it. I just heard about it. But
Okay.
there is one paper that was about like it was published a while ago that was about like the way that people respond to surveys based on the way that
Okay.
you treat them or something. Like the topic doesn't have to do with the story, but this paper recently they retracted it because they were like, oops, they made up all of that data. They just like made it up. Here's the real data. And they submitted a new set of data, and that set was also completely made up.
Oh
Like
gosh.
somebody ran it through like a check if this is like generally okay looking data or not, and the computer spit back like a lot of this is copied and pasted exactly like over and over and over again
Oh no.
just to like look like you have a larger sample set. Embarrassing.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are people doing this?
Well, okay. So I had a conversation with the PhD student that I work with um, recently where we were talking about our disdain for like how academia has this outlook on publish or perish kind of like
Mm-hmm.
research where you're just publishing to publish, not because you have anything interesting to add or even anything real to add.
Right.
And because I was asking him what he wanted to do with his PhD, and he said he wanted to teach, but not at a big institution because it seems to be mostly politics and publishing and not a lot of
Right.
teaching. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah. So he's going to spend 12 years in higher education and hundreds of thousands of dollars
Okay. To
to teach
teach.
in a tiny
To
school
teach. Yeah.
off the
I
beaten
thought,
path.
like, he's a really good teacher, so I'm sure he'll be great at it.
Yeah,
But
right.
I also had the reaction like, oh, okay. I mean, good for you. We need more teachers like you,
Sure.
well
Yeah.
educated and passionate about what they're doing, but could never be me. Could never
Yeah,
be
that's a
me.
mission.
That, yeah, you have to have the heart for it, and I don't.
Yeah.
I don't really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes. Well, um, it reminds me of I was listening to a guy talk about um, the like people's expectations of science versus what science is really supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I remember learning this phrase way back when, um, and he repeated it, and it struck me because it seems like it's so out of fashion to use it. And the phrase is science is best guess.
Yeah.
And and as a scientist, you should be really excited to be proven wrong
Mm-hmm.
because you've learned something. You've advanced something because you've said, "Nope, this guess we now know is incorrect." And when we wind up sort of turning it into wizardry or pseudo religion, we're like, well, that like the scientists shouldn't wind up becoming so entrenched in their theories that they aren't doing real science anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
I thought it was
interesting.
interesting.
I saw a TikTok actually by this dude who his whole account is like chronicling his path through medical school, and he was
Okay.
talking about how he was in a lecture about the history of science, which sounds really cool. And
Uh-huh.
his like professor, his instructor, said something like, "Everything we know about science has been built on the backs of people who were proven wrong. So don't be afraid of being wrong about something. Just try something." And he said,
Right.
like, I hope that when I'm at the point where I have enough of a stance on something that people are trying to prove me wrong, I take that with grace instead of with like stubbornness. And I thought that was a very like beautiful and like very at the core of it sciencey take. Like I
Absolutely.
hope to be proven wrong, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and also the fact that people are out there trying to prove you wrong or are working on the things you're advancing to try to poke holes in it or like beat it up
Yeah.
means you're relevant.
Yeah,
Means you're doing something cool and interesting and
exactly.
you're pushing the edge of science.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
this guy was also talking about um, aliens and intelligent life and how many worlds and like galaxies and da 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 there are out there, and he was just throwing numbers out there, and I'm like, ugh,
It's so hard to conceptualize. Like
it's impossible.
I can't do it. I can't.
I think he said that the current estimate is there are something like 2 trillion galaxies in the universe.
Like what am I supposed to do with that? Like,
I
okay,
have no idea.
I can just
Each galaxy can have hundreds of billions of
like
stars.
I okay.
The numbers don't
Like
even
I
mean
don't
anything
know.
anymore.
That's a big number. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's why you work on small things, not big
Can't. I
things.
can't. I can't look up.
Just
I'm
like your
so
mother. I can't look up. Yeah, she was always that way too. Like,
uh
I want to work on the small things on the bench and not, I
no,
don't want to stare
can't
through a
think about that.
telescope.
I took one astronomy class at
Hmm.
community college only because the same professor taught me physics, and I loved her so much that I took her one other class that she taught. And
And
she
she was
was,
that rock star,
yeah,
right?
she was freaking awesome. She was really cool. The class, though, mm, not so cool. We got about a third of the way in, and I was like, actually, fuck this. And actually, actually, I hate this. It's scary.
It's
Don't
scary,
It's
yes.
scary. I don't like think about that.
It's interesting because I don't equate these in like the way I respond to them. Like I love thinking about this, stars and deep space and all that kind of stuff. And I hate thinking about deep ocean.
Oh, you're
But
just
they're
like
basically the
Maggie.
same thing.
You're just like Maggie.
Yeah.
Well, they're
But
not
they're basically
basically
the
the
same
same.
thing. It's like,
No, because one is very much closer to us.
oh, that's true. I don't know. I mean, if I go 8 miles under the surface of the ocean, I'm pretty much pink mist.
Yeah.
And if I go 8 miles above the surface of the planet, I'm also not doing hot.
Or
So,
doing too hot, maybe.
doing too hot. I'm rapidly descending into pink mist.
Oh boy. Yeah, I saw, okay, I'm back on TikTok, I guess, because I saw another person who made a TikTok about the ocean, and they're like, people that swim in the ocean, I'll never understand. Because you say those are shark infested waters. Mm-mm, that's their house. They live there. We don't. Can you
We're the
imagine can
infestation.
you imagine if a shark came up on land and said it was human infested? We'd be
Hmm,
pissed.
that doesn't work. Yeah, yeah. Those sharks, they belong there.
They
We'll thank
belong
them for
there.
staying there.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm a lake swimmer, but
Amen.
I'm not an ocean swimmer.
Preach.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm a Michigander through and
Yeah.
through.
Yeah. The big oceans can just piss straight off. I don't care for them at all.
I don't care for them either. I like to look at them.
I can look at them. Your mother and I were talking about aspirationally about retirement kind of locations.
Oh, goody.
And it was really cool because she brought this up. I've always known her as someone who wants to be around water. And she said, I do want to be around water, but I don't want to be on a big lake or an ocean because it's the noise of the waves all the time is stressful.
Yes,
I'm like, thank you. I agree 100%.
that's so
I don't
true.
want the constant crash.
And you know what that is? Very also, it's very autistic of the two of you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Tism points
We
all
both
around.
get tism points. And I guess me too, because I agree. That was my immediate thought. It's like I could never live on the ocean.
Yeah, too loud.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Plus, sometimes it creeps up on you and tries to eat you.
And tries to eat you. Sorry,
Like
Florida.
you have a hurricane, and then it's just like the ocean says,
Bye
this
bye.
is mine now. Munch, munch, munch.
And you can't do anything. What are you gonna do? It's the ocean. She's so
Yeah.
big.
Right.
She's huge.
And you can't really push her
You
back.
can't.
She just goes where she
She
wants.
goes around you. Yeah.
Through you, swamps you.
Ugh, stop. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have a nightmare about that tonight.
Ah.
No. Yuck. Yeah. I don't think I'll ever. Honestly, the idea of living somewhere that's not Michigan is weird to me. But also the idea of living in Michigan for the rest of my life, mm,
It's also weird.
also doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. I think that could just be because you haven't had the opportunity to spend sufficient amounts of time in other places
Oh,
to
that's
say, "Oh, I
true.
could picture this."
That's very true. Yeah. And I'm a
A couple
nester.
weeks ago,
Mm.
yeah. A couple weeks ago, you said you could see yourself living in the UP. So,
Yes, I still believe that. I've been thinking about it. I keep talking to people about Sugarloaf Mountain. I actually talked about it today. Yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
it's so beautiful. I really would live in the UP, but I have to think about soon I want to do a PhD because it's not. I don't think it's that soon.
Yeah, heard.
Yeah, I
So,
asked. But go ahead.
no, go ahead. I want to stay on this topic.
Okay. I asked the PhD student I work with if he went right from undergrad into his PhD, and he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Why'd you say it like that?" And he goes, "I regret it." So, and that's what
Oh,
everybody's telling me. So,
mm-hmm. Okay, there you go.
yeah. Okay, what
All
do you
right,
think?
so
Okay.
remember at the top of Sugarloaf Mountain when you were envisioning PhD work in the UP?
Yes.
And there were butterflies,
Ladybugs.
ladybugs, ladybugs all over the place.
Yeah.
So yesterday I golfed in this little tiny town, almost an hour like southwest of us. And this golf course had so many ladybugs.
So weird.
It was like if you stayed still for 10 seconds, you would have at least a half a dozen ladybugs
Oh,
on your body.
nope. That's gross.
I got bit probably 30 times
Why? Why are there so many ladybugs?
because it was 80 degrees on
Oh,
October
yeah.
29th.
That pisses me off.
I,
When I was like sweating walking to class in a t-shirt, I was pissed.
yeah, I know.
Ugh. It's
You're like,
supposed to
this
be
is my
my time.
time. Yeah.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Well, it's people are saying, I've heard the rumor that it's going to be a lot of snow this winter. So,
I've heard that rumor too.
oh,
I think that's
I'm
just like
hopeful.
I think that's like Uncle Tom's almanac or what is it? Uncle Ben or Uncle that's the
Uncle
rice.
Tom.
Um,
Uncle Tom. I don't think is.
Uncle I don't know whatever the almanac is, the old farmer's almanac that
I don't know.
Tommy Jeff started. I
Can
don't
we
know how they
trust it?
think. No, no.
But the
How
farmers
do they think?
trust it.
Mm,
What
maybe
are
they
they
used
gonna
to.
do? Also, what are they gonna do? Like not plant stuff? They have to. Their job.
Yeah, I think they would just lay a little extra aside if they know it's going to be a hard winter.
Ah, I see.
Slaughter that extra piggy.
Hmm. Oh, I taught. You saying slaughter made me think of religion, which reminded me.
Excellent.
Seriously, it did.
Excellent.
Which reminded me that I taught my group mates today about the Jesus fish. They didn't know about it.
They didn't know about the fish as a symbol for Jesus?
They didn't know. They said, "Wow, that looks like a fish," and I said, "Yes, it was used actually as its own." I started talking about it, and they like looked at me all weird, and I was like, "No, look!" And I googled it and proved it to them, and they were like, "Oh, okay, interesting." Yeah. They all also. I said something about it being a Greek letter, and then somebody else at the table was like, "Oh, are you in a sorority?" And I was like, "No." She was like, "How'd you know it
How
was a Greek
dare you?
letter?" I was like,
Then you have to just immediately jump to, I was homeschooled for a
I know.
while.
I try not to tell people. They look
I
at me.
know, but
They look at me different.
that's the it's the only explanation, Rebecca.
No, that's not
You're either in
true.
a sorority or you're homeschooled. That's it.
There are two types of girls in the world: girls who are in a sorority and girls who are homeschooled.
No, there are two types of girls in the world who know Greek
Who know
letters.
Greek letters. No, mathematicians.
Okay.
That's how I
Limited.
know.
Okay.
Actually, chemists use Greek letters.
I don't really want to be distracted by facts.
Oh, sorry.
Don't
You're right. It's goofs
don't let
only.
facts get in the way of a good narrative.
Facts, leave the room. Goofs, come back in.
Yeah.
Well, Dad, you're going on a fun little country trip. You're going out into the wilds of the world.
I am. Well, we're gonna. I actually was talking to the home base in Raleigh earlier
Mm-hmm.
today, and I put this into context, like this little jaunt that we're doing for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The one-way drive is about an hour less than the trip to Raleigh. So it's almost like going to Raleigh for a long weekend. And
Hmm.
we'll have fun
So why are you doing this again?
because because your oldest brother
Yes.
said, "Hey, uh, you guys haven't visited me here, and I'm leaving here
Oh
in a month,
yeah.
and so it would be great if you came and visited before I have to fly away, because I think you guys would really like it."
Mm-hmm.
And so we're like, you know what? He's right.
Yeah.
So we just found us a weekend, and it actually works out well timing wise because like Patrick's ramping up into his show week for crewing for that fall
Oh,
show.
okay.
Like
I
a
was
little
like,
bit after that, we'll be back in time for that, and there's nothing like athletics, and so
is he?
it
Is the
works out
soccer
okay.
season still going?
What?
Is the soccer season still going? Or is
No,
that,
soccer's been done. Soccer was done before we went to Marquette.
oh, that's a short season.
Well, they pack a lot in. I mean, he started playing games the week after tryouts in August,
Oh wow.
and I think
Okay.
they played 13 games.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it was full enough.
Yeah, I guess that. I don't know. I'm used to like his life just being soccer all the time, like
Yeah.
year round.
Well, he did. Yes, this is a little bit of a change, but he did. He decided he wanted to play futsal with the soccer team over
That's good.
winter. He's always loved futsal, so that's good.
Just because he's
Um,
the court is little like he is, it might be.
yes, right, exactly. But yeah, he's anyway. So yeah, and Colby's coming with us on the trip this weekend now.
Yeah, that's fun
So yeah,
to see his
we're just
oldest
gonna go.
brother.
We're gonna go hang out in Kansas City and see what we learn.
Fun. Maybe you'll see Taylor Swift.
I hope so.
Or maybe her boyf. Maybe you'll see her boyf.
Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe.
Well,
I don't even know. Are they playing? I don't. Is Kansas City playing at home this
I don't
weekend?
know.
Come on,
Oh
you
wait. No, I don't pay attention.
keep up on your NFL. Come on,
Actually,
Rebecca.
I think Tay Tay has um she's back on her tour again.
Isn't she overseas though?
No, she's in the US, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, she is in the U.S. Okay.
I think so. Or she was. She started in Florida.
Holy cow. How many years has she been on the Eras tour?
I think it's been like 2 years and she took like a month off recently. But it's almost done. It ends
What
this
a slacker.
December. Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, okay.
Lazy.
Taking a month off.
Yeah, but it ends in December. Did you know she was born the day before me?
I did not know that.
Yeah, so Taylor Swift and I almost share a birthday.
Yeah, but she's way older than you.
Yeah, she is. She's like 33. That's the same age
I
Jesus
know.
was when he died.
Don't. What are you saying about Tay Tay?
But she will rise again. Oh, the old Taylor
Don't
can't
put
come
that
to
in the universe.
the old Taylor can't come to the phone right now. Why? Because she's dead.
Wow.
Just saying, it fits with her lore. Taylor is
I
Jesus.
know.
No, I take that back. That's
Oof.
blasphemy.
Well,
Sorry.
you're either a murderer or a blasphemer at this point.
Gosh, in my coding class today, we had to do like Did you hear that?
What was that?
That was
Yeah.
Basil.
That was like I was like, oh my gosh, impending cat attack.
Yeah, they sit by the screen door and scream out into the parking lot.
Yeah.
Shh, stop. And I can hear them sometimes when I'm coming home, and I'm like, "You guys, you're embarrassing me. People are gonna think like I abuse you because they just sit there and yell." Oh my God.
Uh, Hello.
Hi, Basil.
Is this um is this the one that's trying to eliminate trees from the planet?
I think so. Yeah. Or I had the thought it could have been the wind, but
Hmm.
yeah. Was it you? Yeah, he says yes. When when I got back from being gone for that stretch during fall break,
Yeah.
they like the following week would not leave me alone. Like would not shut up. Were always screaming at me. If I stopped petting them or looking at them for like 1 second, they would start losing their minds. They thought I loved them forever.
They didn't really.
They did. They were so scared and lonely.
They know better.
He's such a freak.
So what when does how much longer do you have in your semester? Like a month?
Yeah, about
Maybe a little
a
more.
month. Well, it's less than a month until my final report in my lab is due, but then that's due, I think, the like a couple weeks before finals week. I
Okay.
know. Oh, I know. Finals week ends the day before my birthday, I think. Like, this is one of those rare
Okay.
years where my birthday comes after finals week instead of in the middle of.
Yay!
Yay! So,
And it's
soonish.
your it'd
No,
be your silver birthday, right?
I don't want to talk about it. My silver
You
birthday.
don't isn't well, you don't
What's
want to talk about
silver?
it, so
What's silver birthday?
wouldn't that
Oh,
be
are you talking
isn't
about
that 25?
because I'm half a century? I mean, half a century, quarter century.
No, quarter century. Half century is gold, I thought.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know that these had
Okay.
names. Hi, baby. Yes, I feel very old. Today, oh my
I wasn't trying
gosh.
to go there.
Today, one of the girls in my coding group like looked at me and then said, "How old are you?" And I was like, "Fuck, okay, I'm 24." And then they all gasped really dramatically, which felt good for me because like
Yeah, like
one of
wow, guys.
one of them is 19 and like two of them are 21 and like it's not that much younger than me.
No, but I guess I'm old enough to not gasp when someone says their age.
It was crazy. And then later on in the class, another one of them was like, "I keep forgetting that you're 24." Like, what does that even mean? Leave me alone. And the girl that sits next to me goes, "Oh, you look a lot younger." Nice try.
Yeah, right. Good save. No, it. I'm going to say it a different way. I think that means they think of you with such authority now because they know you are both
Yeah.
competent and older.
Oh.
Older, not old.
Older. No, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like I just keep looking at them as like Maggie's, like little Maggie.
Hmm.
Maggie's 19. So I'm like, you're not like babies. I hang out with Maggie, but they just feel so young.
Yeah, but Maggie doesn't do things like gasp at someone's age.
That's true. Maggie's a smarty, so she's mature. I have a baby. Hello.
So what are you doing for Halloween?
Um, nothing. Well, I'm not doing anything for the
Like,
day of, but
well, no, it's a Thursday night for you're a grown ass adult.
that's
You don't do
true.
crazy things.
My lab partner was telling me about how she went out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night this past weekend. And then this weekend, she's going out Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for Halloween.
Okay.
Like, that's 7 whole nights of Halloween. What's going on?
Okay, well, okay. I'm for a college student, I'm going to give a pass on Thursday, Friday, Saturday of Halloween, like Halloween and then the weekend.
Yeah.
Last weekend, I have questions about Sunday. Why are we going out Sunday?
I don't know. And she said that she got back Sunday, or actually Monday morning, I guess, at 5 in the morning. I was like, "What are you doing? You're gonna die."
Making bad choices.
Bad choices. Yeah, but I wasn't, but my boyfriend was invited to a Halloween party, and I'm tagging along
Okay, when?
on Saturday.
Oh, I was going to say the Halloween Spooktacular Mega 80s is Saturday, and
um.
everyone's good friend has
mm,
VIP,
oh, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. Um. That's
and it's
actually
always the most fun one.
I wouldn't choose that as like my first choice.
Yep.
I would say probably ever. No, when we went, it was fun, but I don't think I would want to go
Yeah.
and have to brave that social situation without you there.
Yeah, understood. Understood.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is that after the big Halloween week, there's nothing really on the calendar for a while. I mean, like next week, there's nothing happening, right?
Do you mean socially?
Or in our nation.
Oh. See, I'm trying not to think about it.
I know. I'm going to make you think about it.
Oh, because I did my part. I already voted.
Mm-hmm.
There's literally nothing else I can do now. So I just have to control
Mm-hmm.
what I can control. What is that Alcoholics Anonymous um like thing that they say at the beginning? Like grant me the
Oh, yeah, the Serenity Prayer.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the
Grant me the. Uh,
power to control what
yeah.
I can, the patience to let go of what I can't, and the wisdom to tell the difference, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
That's me right now.
So, all right,
I
cool.
know.
All I'm asking
I'm kidding.
is for I'm asking for you to have the courage not to storm the Capitol next week.
I don't know if I can promise that. Just
Uh-oh.
kidding. Just kidding. I will wait until the proper day and month to start.
Oh, there is a proper one?
Yes. Tradition has told that there's an anniversary that we have to hit. So
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
I am doing my best to focus on even day by day sounds like I'm not even focusing that far ahead. I'm focusing hour by hour of my life right now. And that's
On
about
the thing you have to do?
it's about as much as I can do right now. I can't
All right.
consider what it will be like a week from right now. Don't know. Don't know.
Don't borrow trouble.
Don't borrow trouble. Exactly. The good news is my tolerance break ends on election day. So,
Oh.
yes. I thought it was I thought it was the 6th. It's actually the 5th. My tea break ends, and so that will at least
Remind me again why you were doing that?
I wanted to see if I could, number 1.
Uh-huh.
I realized that my tolerance was so high that it was like not worth the money that I was spending anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And um give my lungs a little bit of a break because I'm just smoking now. So,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
How do you feel?
uh, physically bad.
Mm-hmm.
I use it. as pain relief a lot, and so without that, I'm just kind of back to raw dogging it,
Yeah.
which is not fun. But actually, I have noticed that my memory has improved. Like within the just the last week, I noticed that I was like sharper on. That's just
Hmm.
yeah. So it's interesting because I
Yeah.
was before I took a break. I had started noticing like I think weed is making me dumber. Like I feel stupider. I feel like I'm like always reaching for something in my brain that's not there, and it was starting to piss me off. So
Hmm. No, it's there. It's just slapping back at you like a
it's like
big,
dodging.
big, dumb hippie.
Yeah.
Um, well, I start my break on Monday.
Oh, you're starting a break.
I'm doing an alcohol break. You said the 110-100 thing.
Uh-huh.
Well, the focus for 2024 was supposed to be like health and wealth kind of things, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, and I feel like I've done okay on staying on top of the health things,
Yeah, I would say you've done okay, yes.
but one thing I haven't done is do a break from alcohol and keep everything else the same and see how my
Ooh,
body feels that way.
interesting.
And so I'm going to do that um, starting next Monday through the beginning of December with a break during
For
Thanksgiving week.
Thanksgiving. Okay, that was going to be my
Yeah,
question.
so cheat days during Thanksgiving, but and just keep going and see how it feels.
So I think that's very interesting, and I would like to hear
Yeah.
the results. Because I
I,
remember
I,
when I was um, first diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and I did that Whole30 diet for a month, and that
right.
was like no alcohol. It was pretty much nothing. I couldn't really eat anything. But
Yeah.
I did feel, I mean, I dropped a lot of weight and I felt better, but like I was miserable. Like I couldn't
Right.
enjoy anything.
That it's the joyless
Yes.
lifestyle.
There's a quote from
Yeah.
Waitress, my favorite musical, where she says, my mama used to say, if you avoid eating everything that'll kill you before you're 80, you're not going to want to live until you're 80. She's not wrong.
Yep. Yeah. No, there's a old awful comedian who had a line. He was kind of making fun of how they tell you that this is bad for you and you can't have it, and then a week later they're telling you that something else is awful for you. And he just is this very gruff, like Italian kind of voice, and he's like, "So what I've learned is you eat, you die. You don't eat, you die. I'd rather eat."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Same. Yeah,
yeah.
I when I took my like heavy meaty biochemistry lecture courses
Mm-hmm.
last year, one of my favorite things that my all of my professors would talk about a lot was like something that we as scientists need to do is like need to be careful of doing is labeling like putting morality on something that doesn't have morality. Like this food isn't bad for you. It's not bad food. It is just graded differently in terms of nutrients. And like this type of
Mm-hmm.
cholesterol isn't bad cholesterol. It just does this type of function. And if it is
Right.
overperforming, then it's bad for you. Like,
Yeah, that's a good point. Because we have gotten sucked into these like almost like the the health food battles have been more marketing battles than science battles.
mm-hmm.
It's like whether it's like fat was bad for a while, and so we were supposed to so don't eat butter, eat margarine. And now you look at like what's in margarine, it's
It's
like
like the same
freaking petroleum
stuff.
products. It's awful.
Yeah.
Um, and like there is such a thing as healthy fats, and there, so it we've talked about a bunch of different topics over the course of the previous 19 podcasts, where my thing is, don't put me in a box. Don't like, I, it's I don't want an extreme reaction to something that doesn't warrant an extreme reaction.
Mm-hmm.
If my house is on fire, I want an extreme reaction.
Yeah, it's like
If
the
I've
boy
got
who
a
Cried
little
wolf.
extra,
yeah.
but if I've got a little extra paunch around my middle, I don't want an extreme reaction. I
I
want to
think
figure out
it will be
how to
okay.
dial it in.
It will be
I,
okay.
so everything in moderation, including moderation, is
Exactly.
sort of like what I want to go with.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you do just want to light up and have a fuzzy night, right?
This is true. Yeah, there have been a couple of times where I'll be out in public and I'll just catch a whiff and I'll be like, damn,
Mm.
that'd be really nice right now. Yeah.
Well, I was around Jason on a golf course today,
Mm.
Our
and
best friend.
he he's funny because he's almost my age, and his preferred stuff is like it smells like kid candy when he smokes it.
I can't.
It's
Wait,
super sweet and like
is it a joint though? Or is
it
it
is. I mean,
a
I don't
vape?
know what he calls them. It's not a vape. No,
Oh, weird.
he's smoking it. Yeah.
And it smells fruity. Interesting.
It's like what do they call them?
I bet it's infused with
Shoot.
something. A
Yeah, it's
duvie?
definitely infused.
A blunt?
It's what do they call them when they're like infused with extra
I don't know.
THC?
I
Like
thought it was
so,
just called
there's like
infused.
THC oil,
Oh,
and then you're also smoking it.
yeah. That's just an infused.
Fused joint. That's what they call them.
Okay. He calls them something. There's some name.
That's what I've.
Only heard them as. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe he has a special. I don't
Maybe,
know.
maybe, maybe you're just not up on all
I
the
could.
street names,
It's true. I
Rebecca.
could not be hip with it. Um, Before it was
I don't.
legalized, my parents bought it for me. So that, like,
May we please have one of those little
excuse
smoky
me.
things that make you confused?
Yeah, I never had to like message a dude on Snapchat and like,
Good
thank
thing.
God. Yeah, thank the Lord. Yeah.
And you're welcome.
I mean, yeah, thank you, Dad. Not thank God.
Pretty sure we
Thanks,
just
thank
admitted
Dad.
to a federal crime.
Yeah, nobody's ever gonna listen to this.
If somebody's listened,
58 minutes into this rambling mess, and they
Yeah,
decide
whatever.
to report us to the federal government, that's fan
Hmm.
behavior.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Like, before you put me in cuffs, do you want me to sign an autograph?
do you want a picture?
I can take a picture with you if you want.
Oh, man.
All right, wait.
Before we close up, I have a question for you, and it's a fun thought
Okay.
experiment. I was
Oh,
listening
okay.
to
I
some
thought you
old
hadn't prepared for this.
I just.
came up with it. Um,
Okay, great.
I was listening to
some
some
old episodes of My Brother and Me
back when they were in their
Prime, and
Oh,
they
You,
say it themselves. They would agree with me.
all
They would
right.
agree with me. They would agree.
Okay.
Um, there was one story that Justin told. It was a live show, and he said something happened to me before this show, and I want to tell you guys about it because it was better than anything I had ever dreamed it could be. I had to go use the toilet before the show, and I could only find the public, like,
front of house.
facing restroom to use. So I walked in there, and there were like two or three other dudes in there at the urinals who were clearly here to see me do my show in 10 minutes, and they acted like they had no idea who I was. And we did our business and we zipped up and we all left, and it was perfect. So I have a question for you.
Yep.
If you
We're about to perform a live show of this show to
an adoring
a crowd
crowd,
of hundreds of thousands. It's a big venue. And you had to
Tens.
go to pee,
with fans.
how would you prefer them to treat you?
Well, I think the chill approach is the right approach.
Like ignore and
Pretend nothing's happening.
No, I wouldn't necessarily go with ignore.
pretend.
I actually, my natural tendency, by the way, was to flip that question and be like, if I was in that bathroom
Oh,
with
if
You
Justin,
saw Justin
how
McElroy. Yeah.
how would I have responded? And I
Oh,
think I wouldn't
interesting.
have ignored him. I would have been like, "Oh, hey, they don't have bathrooms for you back there?" And
Yeah.
it would have just struck up a conversation, and you're like, "No, I got to do this." And I would have just been like, "Oh, cool. Well, good to meet you. Weird way to do it, but hey, have a great show."
See,
And
We'll
I
see you
would have
out
been
there.
just
Yeah.
like acknowledge at least.
Yeah. But
Like,
not been weird about it. Okay, but keep in
no.
mind that he walked in there and the men were already like up at the
Okay.
urinal. Like
Okay. Yep.
Justin McElroy walks in. You are doing your business. And
he's standing next to you.
he's about to whip it out, man. And you're gonna be like, oh,
Well, I guess
wow,
it does matter
it
whether
matters,
he's like,
right?
psh- well, and it matters like, is he showing some firepower or what is
Oh,
like
okay.
It depends
is
on.
there like a is there like a masculine showdown going
Oh,
on?
I see. I
See,
see.
no, no, no. I wasn't thinking masculine showdown. I was thinking more of an invitation.
I still would have been like if he walked up to the middle urinal because you know
Oh my
everybody
gosh.
spaces them out, right?
Yeah.
If he walked up to the middle urinal and I'm
Like
like,
elbow to
"Oh shit,
elbow.
that's Justin McElroy." I would have been like, "Dude, you don't have bathrooms backstage?" I still would have said
He
something.
still would have
For
said some stuff.
sure.
Okay.
For
Yeah,
sure would have said
cause
something.
my reaction
Was like,
is it not weirder that they pretended they didn't know who he was?
I, agreed. Yes, 100%. Yeah.
that would
Weird
work.
me
Or,
out,
and
I think.
I'm gonna put this out there, and this might have been how Justin took it. Maybe they're just there with their girlfriends, and they
They
legitimately don't
genuinely
know
don't
who
know.
these McElroy boys are.
It's not like they look like any other nerd that you would just see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's true too. It's
They're
not
in,
like,
yeah.
let's put it this way, they're not movie stars.
No, they're not. They're made faces made for radio, one might say.
There you go.
Love you guys.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
you know. So obviously hey, McElroys, you guys are ugly and you suck these days. That's what Rebecca thinks.
past your
But
prime.
we're still happy to join your network
But if
and
you want to
open
reach
for
out,
you.
we're ready. We are waiting with open
No,
and
we're
willing
not. We're
arms.
but by the way, we're not ready. No.
Yes, we are.
We could be ready.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just book Wealthy Theater and we'll do a live show one time
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
and I'll pay everybody to show up.
Yeah. Come to our show.
We pay you, and people would still leave halfway through.
Like we did.
With that improv show that one time.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, it was so bad. It was
So
painful.
it was bad. It
Oh.
was bad. It was like a mockery of like I'm gonna put the high school improv shows I've seen are better.
I was gonna say it's a mockery.
Mockery of high school improv, which is saying something.
Right. Because the high school improv shows were better than that.
Yeah, Maggie's were funny. Like I was,
Giggling.
they're funny.
She's
Some of
because
the
she's
kids are.
got the brain that can crush that.
I can't hear you anymore.
What?
I can't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me now? Oh,
Wait, say something. I guess it doesn't matter.
We
I
can
don't know.
we can finish up. Anyway, we've been going for an hour.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
I mean, I can
Okay.
distantly hear you, like an echo.
Oh, that's sad. Okay, hey, other reasons next week is important. Our super fan in North Carolina has a big week next week. So we are going to give a shout out to our super fan in North Carolina.
Oh yes.
Love and good wishes um, for next week. And on that note,
On that note,
thank you. Thank you for joining us for another Chit Chat episode of
Thank
The
you for
Shallow
having
End.
let's be lazy. Thank
We'll do
you.
better next time, we promise, guys. For episode 21, top 1%. Top
Top
1%.
1%.
All right, here
All
we
right.
come.
See you guys next time.
Time.
Bye-bye.